Hello and welcome to Mark These Words, and welcome back as we continue our journey following Jesus through the book of Mark in part 3. Today we're going to see Jesus having a very private conversation with his disciples. Let's see what they're talking about. They went on from there and passed through Galilee, and he did not want anyone to know, for he was teaching his disciples, saying to them, "The Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him. And when he is killed, after 3 days he will rise." But they did not understand the saying and were afraid to ask him. Mark goes to great pains to tell us that this is a very private conversation between Jesus and his disciples. And I guess the question is why? And I think it's because as Jesus is planning on expanding his kingdom through the world, it's going to very much depend on these disciples and their message. Now, they have been finding it very difficult to understand that the nature of Jesus' victory, in other words, the way in which his kingdom is established, is through his death and through his resurrection. He's told them this before, and they're still struggling to understand it. And I see Jesus here urging them once again to understand the nature of their mission. Eventually they would understand it, but only after they had seen his death and seen his resurrection. Now, these days we have the same responsibility to expand the kingdom of Christ in the world, and the nature of that mission is the same, through telling of the victory of Jesus through his death and resurrection. However, we don't have the same luxury of, let's call it, proof that they had. We are left much more to faith and believing in this story. And so today, maybe it's good to pray about this, and to perhaps you want to go back in the book of Mark to the story just before this, where a man came before Jesus and said, "I believe, but help my unbelief." Maybe you're like those disciples, you don't quite understand this. Pray this morning that you would understand the nature of this mission, and it would therefore compel you to complete the mission of Jesus on earth.